So now that football is back in action and the cheerleaders are on the sidelines, let's go over the definition of a sport. The definition of a sport is an athletic activity that its main purpose is to compete. And there's a winner or a loser. Me, I don't think cheerleading is a sport. Let me know your opinion. Tweet me on Twitter at Ryan Kent Jr. TV. Let's get the show on the road. Welcome to this week's edition of In the Game here on the ETC Sports Network. I am Ryan Kent Jr. We've got a great show scheduled for you guys. We'll sit down and chat with Franklin County head football coach Kirk Kennedy. We also have the chance to chat with Under Armour All-American Brian Hilling, and we have the chance to slice it up with the East Central boys tennis team. We'll be right back after the break here on the ETC Sports Network.
Community is people sharing a place, a story, information, a good time. People become a community when they are connected, and that's what we do. We are Enhanced Telecommunications, sharing resources with our community by investing in technology, hiring local people to serve our neighbors, and supporting the causes and events in our community we all care about. ETC, your community connection.
Welcome back to In the Game here on the ETC Sports Network. I'm now joined by Franklin County head football coach Kirk Kennedy. First off, Kirk, how are you?
Doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good now.
Great.
Explain to me your entire coaching career, starting off up there at Lowell and now ending up at your first year at Franklin County.
Well, it's been interesting to say the least. I was the head coach up at Lowell, Indiana, which is up in the region, up in northwest Indiana, from 1991 to 2009. There we built the program on pretty solid ground. We struggled for a while in building things, but in the second year we won our first sectional, 1992. Ended up winning 10 sectionals overall. 2005 4A state champions, and the Class 4A state runner-up in 07 and 09. So a lot of success there. Fortunate to coach with some great people. Coach some great kids, and it was just a magical time to be in Lowell. In the mid to late 2000s. And then had an offer to go down to Bloomington South. That had afforded me an opportunity to get out of the classroom and be an assistant AD. So, later in my career, I kind of figured, what the heck, take on a new challenge. And not a very good fit down there. Things didn't work out so well. So after 3 years, I took a job back up north, small school called North Judson. And as it turned out there, they had some contractual issues and some budgetary problems, and the job that I had was going to disappear. So there I was after all that time being at Lowell and only 3 years in Bloomington, 1 year at North Judson. I'm looking again. So very fortunate to be able to find an opportunity. Franklin County, Aurora is my hometown. Grew up across the border in nearby Waynesville, Ohio. So, coming down here at this point in my career is a great opportunity. And we like it here. We've got a nice home. And, we've met a lot of nice people around the Brookville area. And we're excited about the new opportunity.
All right, now with your prior coaching experience, what kind of things from that can you take now onto this Wildcat football team?
Well, I think this is probably, I guess more than anything else, a product of being old and being in the occupation a long time, but just so many different types of experiences that we've been through along the years, from winning a lot of big games to having some dog fights to building programs to dealing with lack of success sometimes. And the longer you're at something, the more experience that you gain, and that really equips you to handle different situations. But thankfully, I was able to put together a very good staff, at Franklin County, and the kids, for the most part, have really bought into what we're trying to do. And we're young, but working hard every day and getting better every day.
Now, you talked to me off camera about having a very young kind of senior-led team, very unexperienced team. Having prior coaching experience, 20-some years of it, how much can you bring to this Wildcat football team and helping them grow from the bottom up?
Well, just again, in the experiences that I've had, and we've also got a veteran coaching staff, and you know, philosophically, you know, what we brought to Franklin County is not a whole lot different than what they've done in years past anyway. You know, Franklin County's always featured a strong running game and tough defenses, and we're not going to do anything really that different. You know, it might be, you know, scheme-wise, it might be a little different. You know, I remember last year they ran some T formation, some split back stuff, and we're in the I formation a lot. But I mean, philosophically, you're still running the football, you're still blocking, you're still tackling, you're still relying on your execution. But I don't know, getting back to the original question, just the experience of dealing with a lot of different situations. You know, rather than being a young coach where, you know, you don't have that experience to draw on. But like I said, I am fortunate to have some great coaches, and my coaching style is I am a delegator. So those coaches are working hard and doing a lot of great things. And you know, this year with the balanced calendar the school has, we weren't able to have two-a-days. So you add that to, you know, a new coaching staff and all the changes that we were making. You know, we kind of expected to get a slow start. Not to use that as an excuse, but that's just the reality of the situation. So, you know, Friday night over at Rushville, our offense, you know, our offense is still a work in progress, and our offense evolved a little bit. We were able to do some things and be successful, but overall, we're off to a 2-1 start. You know, the kids are excited. We're working hard, and like I said, getting better every day.
Now, what's one of the biggest coaching differences from your prior coaching jobs to now this one at Franklin County?
You know, I guess there was a time in my career where I thought I would retire and probably be buried up in Lowell, you know, but being now on my fourth school, I think you learn that kids are kids, and you know, kids now are, you know, a lot different than you know, kids were when I first took over. But I think just, you know, just getting the total buy-in and the acceptance of your philosophy. I think we're asking a lot more out of them than maybe what was asked in the recent past, and you know, that in changing the culture, you know, we're not patient. We want everything to happen right now. We want to win now, and we're not going to accept anything less than that, and we're certainly not going to make excuses. But changing the culture does take time, and we told the kids from the first meeting on, you know, that we don't have a 3-year plan, a 5-year plan. We've got a plan where we want to win right now, but it's up to, you know, the degree of buy-in and the acceptance and the embracing of the changes and the new coaching that will ultimately determine how quickly, you know, we turn it around and get to winning more consistently.
Right.
But right now, you know, the attitudes are great. We got a good situation, you know, within the program, and we just got to continue getting better every day, changing that culture, and you know, accepting the challenges that lie ahead of us.
Now tell me about this year's team and this year's season so far.
Well, you know, we started off the summer by, you know, I hate to bring up negative things, but we had a little suspension within the team. You know, some team rules were broken, and you know, being young and having a relatively small senior class, you know, you're not blessed with a lot of numbers. So your depth, you know, could be an issue. So to start off the season kind of handcuffed like we were, we had to move some kids around, some more kids than normal that would be going both ways. But you know, we've absorbed that now, and we've got those kids back, and we're going to be at full strength, you know, this Friday. So, you know, the kids accepted, you know, their new roles, and then they're changing roles, you know, very well, and that allowed us to build depth, you know, those first 3 weeks. And now, you know, we're going to have very few kids going both ways, and like I said, a lot closer to full strength. So, you know, things are definitely heading in the right direction.
And now tell me about this last Friday's win at Rushville.
Well, we'd kind of been hampered the first 2 weeks with slow starts, you know, giving up big plays early and kind of getting behind the 8 ball, and then we kind of got things going later. This past Friday at Rushville, first of all, it was our first away game, so I thought we handled that real well. But we got off to a pretty fast start, actually. We were ahead 16-0 after the first quarter. But the problem with that, it was 16-0 at the end of the third quarter. So I don't know if we pushed the clutch in or mentally relaxed a little bit. I mean, you never know, what's in the mind of teenage kids. But, we picked it up again in the fourth quarter. We blocked the punt, made some things happen, and ended up winning, 24-14. So, Rushville, they got a young team too, and they were able to get on track a little bit, make some things happen. So in the end, we kind of had to fight for the victory. But, to our credit, to our kids' credit, they did rise to the occasion, make some plays, and we won the football game. So, we sit right now 2-1 and heading into the meat of our schedule, and what we do every day as far as our practice habits and how we think and what we believe is going to determine our success from here on out.
All right, now what are some of the biggest matchups for this Wildcat football team this year?
Well, certainly you take them one week at a time, the old coaching cliche, but it's true. I mean, you can't look down the road. You got to pay attention to what's right in front of you. But the true opponent every week is ourselves. Our attitude, our mindset, our preparation, and ultimately what we bring to the field with us on Friday night. But certainly this week's ball game at East Central is a huge one. It's a big rivalry game, and the history of this rivalry has kind of been one-sided. East Central's won a lot of these games, and we just can't let that bother us. If we bring any kind of preconceived notions about what's happened in the past into this Friday night's game, well, shame on us. We got to go out there and be at our best mentally as well as physically. And beyond that, we got always tough Lawrenceburg. Batesville's a very good team, very fundamentally sound. Coach Hepner does a great job. Greensburg with their option, and South Dearborn. Just, I'm just so excited to be coaching in this conference, and just the fact that I get to say those names and those schools, and it's a really neat experience for me at this point in time in my career to be back down in what I call my home. So we're just looking forward to the challenges every week presents, and working hard to be the best Franklin County football team we can be.
All right, well, Coach Kennedy, thanks for your time, and best of luck this year.
Well, thanks for having us on the show.
Yeah, not a problem. We'll be right back on the ETC Sports Network.
ETC Sports Network is a proud sponsor of high school athletics in southeastern Indiana. ETC Sports Network was pleased to bring you live and rebroadcast coverage of local high school sporting events this past year. We're excited to announce expanded coverage of high school sports in the 2014-2015 school year. Experience the connection of southeastern Indiana high school athletics with ETC Sports Network. Experience the connection with ETC.
Welcome back to In the Game on the ETC Sports Network. I'm now joined by Under Armour All-American Brian Hoeing. First off, Brian, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for joining us. Now, one of 38 players all over the nation, 2 from Indiana. How's that feel?
It's an honor to be part of that prestigious group. 38 players across the nation, 1 from Canada, 2 from Dominican Republic. Great group of guys. Being selected to this game, I feel like all my hard work has paid off through my younger years and up to high school. So being selected as Under Armour American means a lot to me.
All right. Now, how was the experience overall? You said going in there Wednesday, I believe it was, staying through Saturday. You said helping kids build bikes, getting towards Chicago. How was that?
It was great. I mean, on Wednesday we showed up. We went in, we got all of our gear and stuff from Under Armour, and then we had the itinerary where each day there was about 4 or 5 things planned for that day. And so basically throughout the whole week we just went around Chicago, did different things. We went to the Cubs game. We went to a Boys and Girls Club and helped younger kids build bikes. And just a lot of events throughout the week to keep us busy.
Now moving on, next year you're going to be a Louisville Cardinal.
Yep.
Why that decision?
Louisville, it just felt right. I mean, I visited a lot of colleges. I had it down to 4. And out of all those 4, Louisville just felt right. It's close to home, so I can have people from Batesville come visit me, watch me pitch. And I really enjoyed the coaches. The pitching coach, Coach Williams, he's a great guy. I feel like he'll do his best to help me in my future. And along with that, the campus is nice, and they have what I want to major in, so I'm really excited to get to Louisville.
And it's the arch rival of your cousin Alex Myers, Kentucky.
Yep.
Now, you're a 2-sport athlete. You were a 3-sport athlete before high school. Basketball and baseball. Why'd you choose baseball?
I chose baseball because I realized that in the long run I'll be more successful in baseball. However, basketball, I've loved basketball all my life and playing since I can remember. being part of the Batesville High School basketball team means a lot to me. A lot of hard work goes into that, and hopefully we can win a sectional this year and even go further than that. But yeah, baseball and basketball, people ask me all the time, what's your favorite sport? I say, whatever sport I'm in. So yeah, I enjoy playing both, and I'm definitely going to miss playing basketball after high school.
Now, continuing on, after this year, you said you were going to be eligible for the draft.
Yeah.
What kind of preparations are you making for that to impress big scouts and possibly get a nice big check?
Obviously, the Under Armour American game helped my scouting report go up. And I'm done for the fall now, so I'll start back up for our high school baseball team. But up until then, I've had Major League scouts come in my house and like interview me and ask me questions, and I'll fill out questions for them. And yeah, I mean, they just come in and get to know me better, put like a face to a name to a face. And other than that, I fill out questionnaires, and hopefully they like what they see.
Now, how did you get nominated for the Under Armour All-American game?
I received a letter in the mail that was like mid-July, said, would you like to come to play in Wrigley for the Under Armour All-American game? Gave me a phone number to call, and I called the dude right away. I said, I'm in, couldn't be more excited for it.
All right, now, you've got a very athletic family. Your mom, Donna, played at Ball State. Your brother, Mike, was very successful.
Yep.
Obviously, your cousin, Alex, your aunt played at Purdue.
Yep.
A lot of pressure with that?
Yeah, I mean, there is. There's a good tradition of my family with being successful in sports. I mean, my mom playing at Ball State, my Aunt Cindy playing at Purdue. I feel like I'm carrying on the tradition of that. So, and Alex obviously playing at Kentucky, is now playing for the AAA team for the Twins. Alex helped me a lot through my recruiting process for baseball. And without him, without his guidance, I don't know where I'd be right now. It's always nice to have someone close to you go through the same experiences as you have. So yeah, he's helped me out a lot through this process. And Mike, I love playing with Mike when he was in high school, and now I wish him the best of luck at college at Butler University. So.
All right, now being a 6'6", 6'7" freshman showing up at Batesville, how did that feel? What kind of pressure did you have, from coaches from all over the state? You were nominated, I think you were the Main Source Bank Player of the Week or whatever. What kind of pressure did that add, and how were your fellow family members able to help with that?
There's a lot of eyes on you when you're hyped up and people are talking about you like that. But I kind of embraced it. I like big stages. I like big lights. I like playing in front of a lot of fans. But I like to thank the older classmen when I was a freshman for allowing them to come in on their team and allowing a freshman come start for them. It really meant a lot to me. And some games I played really well, and it was really exciting as a freshman to kind of be that star player sometimes, and definitely going to miss that as a senior right now.
All right, now, if you had to pick one Major League Baseball team to get drafted by, who'd it be?
I just got to go with the hometown Reds, Cincinnati, about 50 minutes away. Pitching for the Reds would be incredible. I've going to baseball games with the Reds all the time, following on Fox News, watching all the time. So pitching with the Reds would be pretty awesome.
All right, now, you play for the Bulls, you play for the Bulldogs, obviously.
Yep.
What other kind of preparations do you make heading into the MLB draft, heading on possibly to Louisville as well?
Yeah.
How vigorous is that workout for you?
Yeah, I have a lot of off-season workouts, arm bands, stretches, make sure you're always in shape. Your arm, make sure it's fresh and ready to go. Because that first game, there's obviously going to be a lot of scouts there watching me, and they don't want to hear excuses that saying it's early in the season, my arm's not fresh. So January, February, March, you got to make sure you're preparing well for the upcoming season. And the Bulls, Indiana Bulls, my travel team, they helped me a lot through the process. The coaches got in contact with a lot of college coaches when I was through the recruiting process. And now MLB scouts connect with my Bulls coaches and ask them about me and my personality and who I am, what I'm about. And I hope they give positive feedback to those guys.
Well, now they can watch it on the ETC Sports Network. Yeah. Brian, best of luck basketball and baseball season, and thanks for your time, and good luck in the draft.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
We'll be right back on the ETC Sports Network. Welcome to Slicing It Up, brought to you by Isis Family Pizza. I'm now joined by East Central head tennis coach Scott Cleaner. First off, Scott, how are you?
I'm doing good, thanks.
All right, now this is your, how many year coaching?
8th year.
All right, so now starting from the first year now to being your 8th, what kind of thing can you learn from your assistant coach over here?
My assistant's amazing because he was a former tennis pro, so he finds all the little mechanical defects on serves, forehands, backhands. So his knowledge is 43 years and strong.
All right, now what's one of the biggest improvements you've seen in your own coaching from year 1 to now year 8?
Biggest thing is just knowing other opponents and other teams, being around the game as long, just knowing strategic playing of the game of tennis. Former player myself, but there's always certain things that you learn and know from just being out here every day.
And what's one of the biggest matchups for this East Central Trojan tennis team this year?
Greensburg, Batesville are always tough matches. Columbus East, Richmond, and then also the Richmond Invitational, which is an 8-team tournament. That will be a tough matchup.
Did you guys play in that last year?
We did.
How'd you do?
I believe we finished 4th out of 8. So, but this year we returned 6 of the 7 and a couple of new players, sophomores. So we should be top 3 if maybe even winning it.
All right, so now who are some of these new players?
First-time varsity players, Matt Keeble, he's a sophomore. Braden Whittick, also a sophomore. Clark Maxwell, also a sophomore. So Braden and Matt both played last year on JV. Clark was a transfer student in, but definitely a boost in talent and depth with those 3 players.
Okay, now heading towards some of the upperclassmen. Who are some of the strong upperclassmen you've got?
Our 3 singles have been dominant so far this year. Jason Bossy at 1, Nathan McCann at 2, and James Brand at 3. We kind of figured out the other day of all 3 of them are 6-0, and combined they've outscored their opponents 216 to 16.
Wow.
So most of their scores are 6-0, 6-1, or 6-0, 6-0 right now. Very seldomly will they lose more than 1 or 2 a match.
Now, what are some of the goals this season?
Always conference championship. Boys haven't won one, I don't think, ever, so that's our big goal. After that, sectional championship and regional championships.
All right, now what's one of your favorite things about this Trojan tennis team?
Just the lightheartedness of them. The joking around with them. They can take things very serious when need be, but at the same time, if someone hits an amazing shot, it's a lot of fun, a lot of hooting, hollering.
Yeah. So what's one of the biggest physical aspects you think of high school tennis?
Just physically, you have to be strong with your feet, with your legs. Everything starts from the ground up, and if you don't have good footwork, then a lot of times you're going to be missing a lot of shots.
Well, Coach, good luck this year, and thanks for your time.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. I'm not joined by 2 members here of the boys tennis team here at East Central, Jason and James. First off, guys, how are you?
Good.
All right, now you're a junior, he's a senior. What kind of things can you learn from your teammate here?
I've been playing with him since I was in 8th grade. He's a good role model, and I've been playing after him the whole time.
You? What kind of things can you learn from?
Dude, this kid's a legend. He's so much better than I am. I came when I was a freshman. He was like in 8th grade, and he's just teaching me how to play. I'm like, dude, what is this? Little kid.
So he's been kind of a model after him. Do you kind of model your game after his?
Definitely. He's really good.
What do you take from that?
That's pretty. I like hearing that. That really boosts my confidence.
All right, now back to this season. Your junior year, your senior campaign. What kind of goals you got?
Well, I mean, this year we got a pretty solid chance to win sectionals, so I think that's the ultimate goal.
My goal is I'm thinking I might be able to go to semi-state maybe this year.
All right, personal goals, semi-state for you?
I think for a team we should just get past sectionals. That's really the goal.
All right, now looking back at last year, what kind of things can you take away from last year's team into this year's?
We've definitely improved a lot. Our guys have they've hit harder, growing a little bit more, so it helps a lot being bigger.
Yeah, I mean, we only lost 1 senior last year, so we got the core of our group came back this year, so I think it's good. We can all grow together.
All right, now how many freshmen do you guys have this year?
We got 3 freshmen.
So now being a senior, what kind of things can you learn from the freshmen?
From the freshmen? Oh man, I don't know if I learn anything from the freshmen.
We learn not to be like them.
Yeah.
All right, now from your freshman year now to your junior and senior years, what kind of things have you learned so far?
I've learned that it's not all about winning every time. It's more how you play. So you might go out and you'll smoke the last guy, and then the next game will be a much harder, difficult game.
Yeah, you always got to be able to take something away from every match. Win or lose, you got to learn something and improve.
All right, well, guys, thanks for your time and good luck this year.
Nice.
Yep. I'm now joined by another few members here of the East Central tennis team. We've got Nathan and Clark. First off, what grade are you in?
Senior.
You?
I'm a sophomore.
All right, now I hear you got a nickname around these guys here. You want to explain that a little bit?
Yeah, my name's Clark, so they call me Superman from Clark Kent.
All right. When did that take place?
First day.
All right, freshman
First
year?
day actually, no, I started as a sophomore.
All right, so now being your first year here as a tennis player here at East Central, what kind of things have you learned from these guys so far?
Well, I mean, they're all really good. I'm glad I joined. Playing in the summer definitely helps you develop skills early on.
Now, you being a senior, what kind of things can you learn from pretty much, a new tennis player and Clark here?
Clark's actually really skillful for just starting this year. You started this year, right?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, and you're already on varsity, so that's really awesome.
All right. Now, you never played tennis before?
No, I did a camp 1 year. That's about it.
All right, so now with your senior campaign, what kind of goals you got?
Definitely winning sectionals as a team, going to regionals, maybe winning there.
All right, you?
Probably just fine-tune all my skills.
All right. Fundamental-wise, speaking of fundamentals, what kind of things can you learn from these guys, coaches? What's the biggest, learning curve in tennis?
Well, everybody on the team has their strengths and weaknesses, and we can all build off each other from that.
All right, you?
Controlling my frustrations, big
all right.
one, trying to get it in the court.
How long have you been playing tennis?
Since like around 7th grade, I started private lessons with this coach here.
Okay, so now from freshman year to now your senior year, what kind of things have you learned from your coaches?
He's just built really a solid foundation for me.
All right, well, guys, thanks for your time. Good luck this year.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yep. Also, a reminder to you guys that this Friday night you can catch the Franklin County Wildcats up against the East Central Trojans right here on the ETC Sports Network and on ETCZone.com starting at 7 p.m. Moving on to this week's tweet. This week's tweet comes to us from @Jeff Emsweller @EMS 196060. You see Nathan here, a member of the Greensburg boys tennis team, facing the Connersville Spartans 1 in 2 sets, 6-2, 6-1. He'll advance to 4-5 on the year, and the Greensburg team overall will advance to 4-1. Also, I'd like to give a shout out over to the guys at bowtiecause.com. They provide me with these bow ties each week. I wear a different one here for In the Game on the ETC Sports Network. What they do is they're a charity organization. Each bow tie represents a charity. You can represent yours today at bowtiecause.com. For the entire ETC Sports crew, including Aaron Black, the guy down on the track, I'm Ryan Ken Jr., hitting it straight up the middle. We'll see you guys next week.